Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We're cracking open a book that's over 6,000 years old.
Oh, wow.
Figuratively speaking, of course.
Yeah.
Today we're going all the way back to ancient Babylon
Okay.
with the richest man in Babylon. Now, you might be thinking, what could a bunch of Babylonians teach me about handling my money in the 21st century?
Right.
Well, get ready to have your mind blown. Because this book is packed with financial wisdom that's shockingly relevant even today.
It really is. It's remarkable how these principles have stood the test of time. What's fascinating is that Babylon was one of the wealthiest cities in the ancient world. And it wasn't by accident. It's because the citizens were incredibly savvy about money. Their principles of acquiring, keeping, and growing wealth weren't just for the elite, they were for everyday folks.
So no secret handshakes or exclusive clubs.
Yeah.
Just solid financial advice that anyone could apply.
Precisely. And that's what makes this book so intriguing. It presents these principles through engaging stories, many of which feature Arcad, who starts from humble beginnings and becomes the richest man in Babylon.
Okay, now that's a success story I'm all ears for. So how does this guy Arcad go from zero to hero in the money department? Did he stumble upon a hidden treasure or something?
Not quite. His journey is a testament to the power of knowledge and consistent effort. You see, the king of Babylon, facing some economic troubles in the city, calls upon Arcad to teach his people the secrets to wealth. Arcad, recognizing the importance of sharing his wisdom, agrees and begins holding classes laying out his financial philosophy for all to learn.
Now that's what I call community service. Spreading financial literacy instead of hoarding all the secrets. But I have to ask, is this ancient Babylonian wisdom really applicable to our modern lives? I mean, we're dealing with 401ks and online banking, not clay tablets and camel caravans.
That's a fair question. But that's the beauty of this book. The principles themselves are timeless. They're about understanding the fundamentals of money and how it works, regardless of the specific tools or technologies of the time. For example, one of the core principles, straight from the book's introduction, is that money is plentiful for those who understand the simple laws which govern its acquisition. It's not about luck or being born into wealth. It's about understanding and applying these laws, much like learning the rules of a game to increase your chances of winning.
I love that. No magic formulas or get-rich-quick schemes, just a solid understanding of the principles that drive financial success. And speaking of solid principles, this book lays out 7 specific cures for a lean purse. Problems I think we've all encountered at some point in our lives.
Absolutely. These cures are presented as practical steps, and they're surprisingly relevant even today. For example, the very first cure is all about starting your purse to fattening. In other words, pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first. I've heard that before, but honestly, it sounds a bit counterintuitive. Shouldn't we be paying our bills and covering our expenses first? How can we even think about saving when it feels like we're constantly stretched thin?
That's where the discipline and mindset shift comes in. Arcad advises saving at least 110th of your earnings before you even think about spending anything else. He emphasizes that this small act of prioritizing your future self can make a world of difference over time.
Okay, I see the logic, but 110th in this economy. Is that even realistic for most people? I mean, rent's going up, groceries are through the roof. And let's not even talk about student loan debt.
I understand the skepticism. But here's what's interesting. Arcad shares his own story of learning to save. He highlights how even when he was a humble scribe earning a modest income, he consistently set aside that 110th. What he noticed is that he felt little difference in his day-to-day life. It wasn't about deprivation. It was about creating a habit of prioritizing his long-term financial well-being.
So it's not about drastically cutting back on lattes and avocado toast, but rather about shifting our perspective and being more intentional with our money.
I like that. Okay, let's say we've managed to fatten our purse a little. What's the next step on this journey to financial stability?
The second cure focuses on controlling expenditures. Arcad stresses the importance of creating a budget to track where your money is going. He advises spending no more than 900/10th of your earnings and living within your means.
The dreaded B-word budget. I think many of us, myself included, feel like budgeting takes the fun out of spending. It feels restrictive, like we're constantly saying no to the things we enjoy. Did Arcad address this common aversion to budgeting?
He did, and in a rather brilliant way. He compares a budget to a light in a dark cave, illuminating where your money is leaking out and allowing you to plug those holes. He argues that a budget doesn't restrict your freedom. It empowers you to make conscious choices about your spending and align it with your values and goals. Okay, that analogy actually makes sense. It's not about depriving ourselves, but about being more mindful and gaining control over our finances. So we're saving a portion of our income, we're tracking our expenses. What's the next step? Do we just stuff our savings under a mattress and call it a day?
Not quite. The third cure for a lean purse is all about making thy gold multiply. Arcad advocates for investing your savings wisely to generate passive income.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Investments. But this is also where things can get a bit overwhelming, especially for those of us who aren't financial experts. I mean, the world of investing is vast and often confusing. With so many different options and strategies, what kind of guidance does the book offer on making smart investment choices?
Arcad emphasizes the importance of seeking advice from those experienced in handling money. He believes in consulting wise men, those who have a proven track record of success in the specific area you're considering investing in. He also shares his own investment journey, including some early mistakes that taught him valuable lessons. For example, he recounts a time when he entrusted his savings to a brickmaker who claimed he was going overseas to buy rare Phoenician jewels.
Sounds risky. Did this brickmaker turn out to be a financial guru?
Unfortunately not. He returned with worthless glass instead of jewels, leaving Arcad with a significant financial loss. This experience taught him a crucial lesson. Don't invest in things you don't understand. It's a lesson that's incredibly relevant even today.
I can see the parallels to modern-day investment scams and those too good-to-be-true opportunities that often end up leaving people empty-handed. So it's all about doing your research, seeking expert advice, and not falling for shiny promises without understanding the underlying risks.
Exactly. And this leads us to the fourth cure, which builds upon this idea of making wise investment choices. It's about guarding your treasures from loss, protecting your hard-earned savings from unnecessary risks.
So we've got our money working for us, but now it's time to play defense and make sure we don't lose it all through reckless decisions. What specific strategies does Arcad recommend for safeguarding our investments?
He emphasizes the dangers of risky investments and stresses the importance of diversification, not putting all your eggs in one basket. This is a concept that's still widely emphasized in modern financial advice. He also warns against being swayed by emotions or romantic desires in investments. He encourages his students to approach investment decisions with a clear head, focusing on sound principles and avoiding speculative ventures that promise unrealistic returns.
Avoiding those get-rich-quick schemes that often lead to financial heartbreak. It's a timeless piece of advice that many of us need to hear. So to recap, don't be afraid to seek expert advice. Diversify your investments and approach investment decisions with a level head, not letting emotions cloud your judgment. It's amazing how this ancient Babylonian wisdom still holds true in today's complex financial landscape.
It truly is. And speaking of timeless wisdom, the fifth cure is one that many will find especially relatable even today, making your dwelling a profitable investment.
Ah, the age-old debate of renting versus owning. What side does Arcad land on?
Arcad is a strong advocate for owning your own home. He sees it as more than just shelter. It's an investment that reduces living expenses and builds equity over time. He points out how many Babylonians were stuck paying high rents to landlords, living in cramped quarters with no space for their families to thrive.
I can picture those cramped, uninspiring living spaces. Not exactly a recipe for financial or personal well-being, but could the average Babylonian citizen actually afford to own a home? Was that even a realistic possibility back then?
Arcad addresses this directly. He mentions how the king had expanded the city walls of Babylon, creating vast areas of unused land available for purchase at reasonable sums. He saw this as a prime opportunity for citizens to own a piece of the city and build a brighter future for themselves and their families.
So Arcad is encouraging people to seize the opportunities around them, even in times of economic change or uncertainty. What other benefits does he see in homeownership?
He highlights the pride and confidence that comes with owning your own dwelling, the satisfaction of caring for your own property and having a place to truly call your own. He even paints a delightful picture of a man enjoying figs from his own trees and grapes from his own vines, highlighting the tangible rewards of owning your own piece of land.
Now, that's what I call a return on investment. Fresh figs and a sense of accomplishment. Okay, so we're saving, we're budgeting, we're investing wisely, we're owning our homes. What's next on this Babylonian path to financial well-being?
The sixth cure focuses on ensuring a future income. Arcad encourages his students to plan for the future by securing a reliable source of income for retirement and their families.
Retirement planning in ancient Babylon. That's a fascinating concept. What did that look like back then? Did they have pension plans and 401ks?
Not quite. Arcad speaks about planning for the future in broader terms. He emphasizes the importance of having investments or provisions that will endure safely for many years and can provide financial security later in life.
So being proactive and thinking about long-term financial stability, even in the midst of building wealth in the present. But let's be honest, retirement planning isn't exactly the most exciting topic. It feels so far off. And let's face it, most of us would rather focus on enjoying the present than worrying about decades down the road. Did Arcad have any strategies for making retirement planning more appealing or motivating?
He didn't offer specific financial products, but he did share a fascinating idea, almost like a premonition of modern insurance.
Oh, tell me more about this ancient Babylonian insurance concept. I'm all ears.
Well, Arcad envisions a system where a group of people contribute a small sum regularly, creating a pool of money that would provide for the families of those who pass away. He calls this a desirable plan that could bring great blessings, but acknowledges that, in his time, it's not yet feasible. He believes such a system would need to be as stable and enduring as the king's throne to work effectively.
Wow, that's incredible. It sounds remarkably similar to the concept of life insurance that we have today. It's amazing how his thinking was so ahead of his time. Okay, on to the seventh and final cure for a lean purse. What's the last piece of the puzzle?
This one is all about continuous self-improvement, increasing your ability to earn. Arcad encourages his students to constantly strive to improve their skills and knowledge, thereby boosting their earning potential.
So it's not just about managing the money you have, but also about actively working towards increasing your income. It's a two-pronged approach, smart money management combined with a commitment to personal and professional growth. What are some ways Arcad suggested people could enhance their skills and earning capacity?
He emphasizes the need for ongoing education and skill development. Regardless of your chosen field, he doesn't go into specific professions or skills, but stresses that investing in yourself is just as important as investing in your finances. He believes that the more knowledgeable and skilled you become, the more valuable you are in the marketplace, which naturally leads to increased earning opportunities.
I think that's a powerful message for all of us. Especially in today's rapidly changing world, the ability to adapt, learn new skills, and constantly evolve is crucial for staying ahead of the curve and maximizing our earning potential.
Exactly. So there you have it, the 7 cures for a lean purse as prescribed by the richest man in Babylon. Timeless wisdom that can help anyone on their journey to financial well-being.
I'm already feeling more empowered and inspired. But we've only just scratched the surface of this ancient Babylonian wisdom. There are so many more fascinating stories and insights to uncover. Are you ready to delve deeper into the richest man in Babylon?
Absolutely. I'm particularly excited to share the story of Calabab, a camel trader, who learns valuable lessons about acquiring and managing wealth from a rather unexpected source. And of course, we can't forget the intriguing tale of Dabasir, whose journey from slave to successful merchant offers powerful lessons in resilience and financial responsibility.
Okay, listeners, you won't want to miss this. Join us for part 2 of this deep dive as we continue to explore the timeless financial wisdom of the richest man in Babylon. Welcome back to our deep dive into the financial wisdom of ancient Babylon. We've covered the 7 cures for a lean purse, but there's so much more to unpack in the richest man in Babylon.
Absolutely.
You mentioned some intriguing stories, and I'm ready for a dose of ancient Babylonian inspiration.
Well, get ready for the tale of Calabab the camel trader.
Okay, a camel trader learning financial wisdom. This I gotta hear. Who becomes his mentor? Some wealthy merchant with a fleet of ships.
Actually, Calabab learns about the 5 laws of gold from a rather unexpected source, Nomasir, the son of Arcad, the richest man in Babylon.
Hold on, the son of the richest man in Babylon is sharing his wisdom with a camel trader. That's a plot twist I didn't see coming. What's the backstory here?
Calabab has been faithfully serving Nomasir on a long and arduous journey. Impressed by Calabab's dedication and hard work, Nomasir decides to reward him with a priceless gift, the 5 laws of gold passed down to him from his father Arcad.
Wow, talk about a generous bonus. I bet those laws are worth more than any amount of gold. Lay it on us. What are these 5 laws all about?
The first law echoes a principle we've already touched on: save consistently. Nomasir emphasizes that gold comes to those who set aside at least 1/110th of their earnings to build an estate.
Pay yourself first. It's a recurring theme in this book. And for good reason. It seems like that initial step of setting aside a portion of your income is the foundation for building wealth.
Precisely. The second law builds upon this idea of saving and focuses on putting your gold to work. It encourages investing wisely and allowing your savings to multiply, much like a shepherd tends to his flock, ensuring it grows and prospers.
Okay, so we're not just stuffing our savings under a mattress. We're actively putting that money to work for us, generating even more wealth. Makes sense. But the world of investing can be intimidating even today. How do we know which investments are wise and which ones are likely to lead to financial disaster?
Well, that's where the third law comes in. Seek expert advice to protect your investments. Namaser unfortunately learned this lesson the hard way. He lost a significant portion of his wealth through a foolish investment in a get-rich-quick scheme.
Ouch. So even those born into wealth can make bad financial decisions. If they don't seek guidance and do their research, it's a reminder that we all need to be cautious and informed, regardless of our starting point.
Absolutely. Now, the fourth law emphasizes investing in secure and profitable ventures. Nomasir, after losing his gold, realized the importance of carefully considering investment opportunities and sticking to ventures that held inherent value.
So understanding the true worth of an investment and avoiding those speculative bubbles that could burst at any moment. What about the fifth and final law?
This one cautions against being swayed by emotions or romantic desires in investments. It's all about avoiding speculation and get-rich-quick schemes. Stick to sound financial principles. And don't fall for tempting, but ultimately risky ventures.
That's a lesson that's particularly relevant in today's world. With all the flashy investment schemes and promises of overnight riches, it's easy to get caught up in the hype. But it's vital to make decisions based on solid research and a clear understanding of the risks involved.
Exactly. And Calabab, having heard these 5 laws, recognizes their wisdom and commits them to memory, knowing they hold the key to achieving financial stability and success.
So he took those golden nuggets of wisdom and ran with them. I bet he became a financial whiz. But enough about Calabab. What about Dabasir, the other intriguing character you mentioned?
Dabasir's story is one of resilience and redemption. He starts as a slave, having lost everything due to reckless spending and debt. But he doesn't let his circumstances define him. He uses the principles of wealth building to regain his freedom and ultimately become a successful merchant.
Okay, now that's inspiring. From slave to successful merchant. That's a major comeback story. What sparked this incredible turnaround? Did he win the lottery or something?
Not at all. His journey begins with a chance encounter with his former creditor, also named Dabasir, who happens to be a camel trader.
What, his former creditor with the same name? That's a bit confusing. So they meet again. And I'm guessing there are some hard feelings, some unpaid debts to settle.
There is initial tension, but Dabasir, the camel trader, sees potential in the younger Dabasir. He challenges him to confront his financial mistakes and offers him a chance to learn valuable lessons about money management.
So instead of throwing him in debtor's prison, he offers him a chance at redemption through financial education. What a twist. What kind of wisdom does the elder Dabasir impart?
He emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's finances. He highlights how the younger Dabasir's downfall was a result of his own choices, his overspending and inability to control his impulses. He stresses that true wealth comes from hard work, sound financial decisions, and the willingness to learn from past mistakes.
It's easy to blame external circumstances or bad luck for our financial woes, but ultimately it's about taking ownership of our choices and making the necessary changes to improve our situation.
Precisely. And the younger Dabasir takes this message to heart. He starts by working diligently as a camel tender for his namesake, proving his worth through hard work and dedication.
So actions speak louder than words. He's demonstrating his commitment to change through consistent effort and a willingness to start from the bottom. But I'm curious, how does he go from being a camel tender to a successful merchant? That's a pretty big leap.
His transformation is gradual and involves a series of challenges and opportunities that test his resolve. One pivotal moment is his escape from slavery. He's given the chance to flee with 2 camels. But it's a perilous journey through a harsh and unforgiving desert.
Wow, that's intense. Sounds like something straight out of an adventure movie. What does he learn from this harrowing experience?
His escape teaches him the importance of perseverance and self-reliance. He faces hunger, thirst, and the constant fear of being caught. But he pushes through, driven by a desire for a better life. When he finally reaches Babylon, he's a changed man, no longer willing to be a victim of circumstance.
So from running away from his problems to facing them head on, what steps does he take to rebuild his life once he's back in Babylon?
He sets out on a mission to regain his honor, repay his debts, and build a life of financial stability and success. And here's where it gets really interesting. He creates a detailed plan, carefully documented on clay tablets, that outlines his strategy for achieving financial freedom.
Clay tablets. Talk about old-school financial planning. It's like having a window into the mindset of an ancient Babylonian trying to get his finances in order. What kind of insights do these tablets reveal?
They detail a remarkably disciplined and practical approach to debt management. Dabasir commits to setting aside a portion of his earnings, 2/10 to be exact, specifically for debt repayment.
So he's not trying to avoid his debts or hoping they'll magically disappear. He's facing them head on and creating a concrete plan to pay them off.
Exactly. He also vows to live within his means while consistently working towards his goal of financial freedom. He doesn't indulge in unnecessary luxuries or try to keep up with the Joneses. He's focused on building a solid financial foundation.
It's a reminder that financial recovery, while challenging, is achievable with the right mindset and approach. No quick fixes or magic solutions, just hard work, dedication, and a willingness to make sacrifices in the present for a better future.
Precisely. And here's another fascinating detail. Debassier's clay tablets reveal that he continued to pay himself first, even while paying off his debts.
Wait a minute, I thought he was dedicating a significant portion of his earnings to debt repayment. How could he possibly afford to save at the same time?
His clay tablets outline a clear breakdown of how he allocated his earnings. He sets aside 2/10 for debt repayment, 1/10 for his own savings, and lives off the remaining 7/10. He recognizes that continuing to save, even while in debt, is crucial for building long-term financial stability.
So he's essentially practicing all 7 cures for a lean purse simultaneously. He's paying himself first, controlling his expenses and chipping away at his debts, all while working towards a brighter financial future.
Exactly, and his dedication pays off. As he diligently follows his plan, his debts gradually shrink, and his savings steadily grow. He even starts to invest his savings wisely, just as the 5 laws of gold advised.
So he's not just getting out of debt, he's building wealth and creating a solid financial future for himself. Talk about a transformation. His story is a testament to the power of financial literacy and the transformative potential of adopting sound money management principles. But I have to ask, does Debassier ever achieve his ultimate goal? Does he become the successful merchant he aspired to be?
Okay, so we left Debassier working hard and making smart choices, but does he achieve his ultimate goal? Well, his journey is a testament to the power of persistence and sticking to a plan. Eventually, Debassier is able to pay off all his debts and accumulate a substantial amount of wealth.
Wow, so he goes from being a slave in debt to a successful, wealthy merchant.
Precisely. His story highlights the transformative power of financial discipline and the importance of never giving up on your dreams even when faced with adversity.
What an incredible story. It's like a blueprint for anyone struggling with debt or feeling overwhelmed by their financial situation.
Exactly. It shows that with a clear plan, dedication, and a willingness to make sacrifices, anyone can turn their financial life around.
I'm really struck by the emphasis on taking responsibility for one's choices and the power of having a clear plan.
It's a theme that runs throughout the entire book, The Richest Man in Babylon. The idea that financial success is not a matter of luck or circumstance, but rather a result of making smart decisions and cultivating the right habits.
Absolutely. It's about empowering yourself to take control of your finances and build a future of abundance and prosperity.
And speaking of empowering stories, we have one more tale to share. The story of Sharunada, the luckiest man in Babylon.
Oh yeah, Sharunada, the guy who inherited a fortune from his grandfather.
Yeah.
And then quickly squandered it all.
Right. His story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of wealth without wisdom and the importance of valuing hard work and appreciating the true source of wealth.
So he loses it all but then makes a comeback.
Yes, indeed. Sharunada, after losing his fortune, finds himself in a desperate situation. He's forced to work as a laborer to survive.
Talk about a reality check. I bet that experience humbled him.
It definitely did. He realizes that true wealth is not about material possessions, but about the ability to create value and contribute to society.
So it's not about what you have, but what you do with it.
Exactly. And Sharunada, through his hard work and newfound wisdom, eventually regains his wealth and, more importantly, earns the respect of his community.
So he comes full circle from entitlement to appreciation for hard work.
Precisely. His story highlights the transformative power of hardship and the importance of learning from our mistakes.
It's a reminder that failure is not the end, but often an opportunity for growth and a chance to build something even greater than we could have imagined. I love that. It's a message of hope and resilience, a reminder that we all have the potential to overcome adversity and achieve financial success on our own terms. Wow, I'm so glad we dug into The Richest Man in Babylon. It's filled with timeless wisdom that's just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago.
Absolutely. It's a book that can truly change the way you think about money and inspire you to take control of your financial future.
I think one of the key takeaways is that financial success is not a destination, but a journey of continuous learning and growth.
It's about adopting the right mindset, making smart choices, and consistently applying the principles of wealth building.
Exactly. And it's a journey that anyone can embark on, regardless of their starting point or current financial situation. So if you're looking for some financial inspiration and guidance, I highly recommend checking out The Richest Man in Babylon.
It's a book that can empower you to create a life of abundance and achieve your financial dreams.
I hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into ancient Babylonian wisdom and that you've gleaned some valuable insights that you can apply to your own financial journey if you're ready to take the next step and start building your own path to financial freedom. We encourage you to explore the resources we've shared and connect with us on social media. Until next time, happy investing.